I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a buck and say that Soul, Disney's Soul, is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It is what I honestly wanted Inside Out to be a little bit more, but Inside Out is a little bit more, you can kind of like tear it apart a little bit more. There's a lot that needs to be explained in Inside Out that just isn't explainable. And when you start thinking about when people go through their teenage years, exactly other stuff that gets added into these emotions, yeah, it's not a pretty picture. Soul, on the other hand, takes the Inside Out concept for the most part and makes a extremely powerful, solid movie when looking at the afterlife and the before life. That's something that I didn't expect from Soul. I knew that the guy was going to die from the trailers and he was going to go, he's going to be a soul going to the great beyond, essentially. That's kind of what the trailer already showed you. So we already knew that part, and that's kind of what sucks about trailers. You don't get that, whole, you know what's going to happen, essentially. And then this guy, oh, by the way, light spoilers for Soul. I would recommend highly to go watch it on Disney Plus. If you have Disney Plus, it's for free, as opposed to Mulan that you have to pay for and spend your own cash on. This movie's for free as long as you have Disney Plus. And it's like night and day between this and Mulan. Mulan was horrible. I'm surprised I haven't made a video on it, how bad it was, but Mulan was terrible, and this is amazing. This is by far, I think this might be my favorite animated movie of all time from Pixar, next to Toy Story, definitely. It's just, it gives you such a solid, happy feeling once you leave your couch. I was gonna say theaters. Once you leave your couch, you get this such a solid feeling, but at the same time, you realize that this is not only the most beautiful Pixar movie that Disney's ever made, or that Pixar's ever made, but this is the darkest movie. And I feel like there are other movies out there that they've made that kind of go in that direction. Coco was kind of dark, and it also portrayed the afterlife, but not like this. This is more of a, it's more mind-melting. It's more psychological. It's more philosophical, Even the whole world itself, it's not really like there. It's just a construct, a theory. I think one of the Jerrys, which is one of the caretakers, they said it's just a construct to be able to put into perspective into the the human mind, the souls, exactly what's going on with them. And so essentially, this guy, he's been living his life waiting for his break in the jazz scene, and he's a jazz teacher or a music teacher, and he finally gets his break from a student, which was great. A student that he taught years ago gives him his break to play with an actual popular jazz musician. He does the audition, kills it, and now his life seemingly is moving forward. He's probably in his 40s too, but he is happy, and then it ends up dying. This is the part from the trailers, and comes back as a soul, but he's not ready to accept death, so he breaks away from the conveyor belt heading toward the great beyond, and ends up in the great before, which is something that I've always thought, if there were souls, if there is an afterlife, then there was a before life, and that would make sense in reincarnation. That would make sense in so many different things. But they don't touch on reincarnation because all these souls down there are baby souls. They're like children, essentially. And after that, he ends up becoming a mentor to this new soul that doesn't want to live, essentially. It's called 22. And he's just doing that to get back. When he gets back, they end up switching spots. The 22 goes into his body and learns how to appreciate life. He finally learns that life is amazing. Because before, when they were teaching him about life, he didn't really care about it. He allowed to be a soul, but now he loves life. And it's just such a beautiful moment to think that there's like a infant soul in this 40-something-year-old's body that's just it's a kid, and it's just loving every second of life. And it's like, I want that feeling too. Like, it makes you want that. And the guy, I don't remember his name right now, but the main character, he ends up being a cat, but he doesn't really he only focuses on I need to do this audition, I need to do this, which he eventually does, and it leads to this conflict that is beautifully conducted, and the ending is just so powerful with such a great message. It's crazy to think that this is a kids movie, I watched it with my kids and they loved it. But my smallest one, he's 3 years old, and he was trying. He was really trying to like figure out what the hell is going on. Like, oh, he's blue. Oh, he's alive. Is he dead now? Like he's trying to understand, but he doesn't really get it yet. And it's one of those movies that I would recommend if you do, once you have kids, or if you do have kids, definitely show them this movie. All adults should watch this movie. It just makes you, it's definitely a good end. It gives you a good end to 2020, honestly. It makes you love life more every second, breathing, doing everything that you can, live life till like every day's your last, every second's your last, because that's exactly what happened to this guy. Great message, great movie, 10 out of 10, masterpiece. Go watch Soul. This is going to be Sunscape signing off. Take care, guys.